Now let me offer the floor to the distinguished representative of Senegal.
Mr. Chairman, my delegation would like to thank you for the opportunity to take part in these discussions on human settlements and on sustainable cities. We would like to take advantage of this opportunity to thank the panelists for the quality of their statements. Senegal would like to associate itself with the statements made by Fiji and Benin on behalf of the G77 in China and the LDCs, respectively. And we would like to share with you a few views and observations in our national capacity. Co-Chairman, according to UN statistics, the global urban population, which increased by more than 60% in the last 20 years, will increase by 1.6 billion in the next 20 years, going from 3.5 billion inhabitants in 2010 to 4.9 billion in 2030. This increasing urbanization of the global population, with more than 52% of people who live in urban centers, certainly provides opportunities, but also creates very serious challenges for most developing countries. There are challenges that are linked to the untold problems in terms of housing, health, transportation, education, sanitation, and infrastructure, and an even steady worsening of urban living conditions, which is caused by high population density in urban centers. This phenomenon can be explained by the existence of a very diverse urban infrastructure in our states, which reflects a major imbalance in the territorial distribution of populations and human settlements. In Senegal, as in most African countries, this imbalance takes the form of very unequal and uneven cities, but also cities that are different due to their territorial and demographic size, as well as their level of socioeconomic development. This situation reflects the importance of bearing in mind urbanization in the development process, and to make cities relays which contribute directly to economic growth, to reducing poverty, and to achieving sustainable development. Mindful of this requirement, my country is committed to implementing urban and rural planning policies which are suitable with a view to better organizing human settlements for the benefit of the population. In spite of the different state initiatives taken in Senegal to implement those major thrusts, we are forced to admit that there's still real constraints that are in the way. And hence we have to approach this problem from a global and holistic approach and in a more open framework due to its cross-cutting nature, due to its significant impact on all other sectors of economic and social life, and bearing in mind the limited resources of our states. Chairman, such an approach, of course, would have the advantage of leading us towards developing common policies and strategies, but would also facilitate the implementation of a true partnership which would involve all stakeholders with a view to achieving a collective solution. Given its cross-cutting nature, we would require at the same time a sound policy for land and urban planning to strengthen sectoral policies, namely when it comes to water, health, transportation, and sanitation. But for proper management of our cities, it is clear that we have to stress solid recommendations which are aimed at establishing a more appropriate framework. And from that point of view, my delegation believes that we must support actions which would strengthen cooperation in order to better management our urban areas. We would also have to promote a suitable urban framework and to make wise economic choices, especially when it comes to industrial facilities and basic infrastructure. There's also the need to support initiatives aimed at managing massive flows from the countryside, to promote access to social housing, to facilitate waste management, and to reduce squatting in urban sites through land restructuring and land regulation. And that is the whole purpose of the National Urban Renewal Plan, an initiative taken by the Senegalese government, which consists of restructuring urban centres and modernizing the rural habitat. This government policy, which is part of the implementation of the 2011-2021 sectoral policy, is aimed at encouraging the establishment of a more balanced urban architecture, which emphasizes the promotion of hubs. And my delegation believes it's necessary that priority action be taken in the area of ecological urbanization, but also in applying sound policies when it comes to urban planning. We would also need to bear in mind the need to increase financial resources and to dovetail public infrastructure networks with the real needs of the population. In conclusion, Co-Chairman, my delegation welcomes the relevant recommendations which have been made, but we are convinced that their implementation can only succeed in the framework of a solid partnership. Thank you very much.
I thank the distinguished representative of Senegal for his statement.